in the news. We have a packed show, and yes, the draft, we finally can talk about it, and we finally know that the 49ers drafted Trey Lance 3rd overall last night. Reports were that the organization was split between Mac Jones and Lance, but the North Dakota State quarterback ended up winning over San Francisco. And then Jones fell all the way down to 15, right into Bill Belichick's lap. And in a Zoom call with reporters, Jones said that the Patriots had been the team he secretly wanted to be drafted by. So, Shannon, who made the better choice? The 49ers moving up to get Lance at 3, or the Patriots holding at 15 and getting Mac Jones?
Skip, I believe both teams got the guy that they wanted. Kyle Shanahan knew at 12 he was not going to be able to get Trey Lance. Coach Belichick stood pat. Now, everybody, Coach Belichick's looking to move up, but his history, in his 20-plus year history of running the Patriots, that's not normally what he does. He doesn't normally move up. He normally moves back to acquire picks. Both guys got what they wanted, Skip, and the thing is with the Patriots, they didn't have to give up anything to get him. They gave up no assets. They gave up, so when I look at this, Skip, it's a situation. If I can get the car that I want at the price that I want, I'm going to take it. It's like Kyle Shanahan realized that, you know what, if I let this car go to auction, I'm not going to be able to get it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and bid it before. I'm going to see if I can get it up off the people beforehand. He couldn't wait to draft night, Skip, because what if somebody else moves up to the 3 spot and says, well, okay, we'll give you this. Kyle Shanahan moved early. They made this move in February, March? To go up to number 3 to get this guy. Skip, I believe the big difference between the guy, and I think ultimately what led Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch down this path, is that they believe Trey Lance can make more plays off script. If we call a play, it breaks down. We believe that guy can make a play not only with his arm outside of the pocket, we believe he can make plays with his legs. We believe we can call diagram runs, and he can get us. Now, I'm not saying, Skip, they're going to use him like they used Lamar Jackson. They're going to use him like the Cardinals used Kyler Murray. But we can steal a 5 yards here, 5, 6, 7 yards there by running the ball. Mac Jones, Skip, is prototypical. I'm not saying he's going to be Tom Brady, but he's Tom Brady when Tom Brady was coming out. Basically, a drop back pocket passer. Now, he has more athleticism than Tom. He can get outside of the pocket, but that's not where his bread is going to be buttered. It's going to be in that phone booth, Skip. You know, hey, that's 7 by 9 between those 2 tackles, about 9 yards deep. That's where he's going to make his hay. Can he get outside and make plays? Sure, but that's not what he's going to be great at. So I believe when it comes down to it, Skip, if everybody got what they want, why is anybody disappointed? It's like, hey, I didn't give up anything. I stood at 15. We thought all along that was the guy because we know one thing. Coach Belichick loved Alabama. He loved their players. He's taken more of their players. He knows Nick Saban. He knows they're well coached. He knows they're disciplined. They're smart players. So I'm not surprised that Mac Jones sitting on the board, Coach Belichick took him. I like Trey Lance. I love his ability to escape the pocket. I just believe Trey Lance, because he went to Kyle Shanahan, ultimately he'll have the most success because I trust his play calling more than I trust any other play calling. And I've seen Kyle get more out of his quarterbacks than Josh McDaniels has gotten out of here. Because Josh McDaniels really hadn't had any success other than with Tom.
Okay. So that took a while for you to get to the conclusion, and you finally answered Jenny's question. You finally said that Trey Lance was the better pick than Mac Jones.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Even though you took your stand maybe a week or so ago and you said that Mac Jones will be the second best quarterback in this bunch. Yeah. And you campaigned for Kyle to take Mac Jones at number 3.
Yeah, I believe coming out of the draft that Mac Jones was the second best quarterback behind Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
But when you break it down, Skip, I trust, and remember I told you yesterday, Skip, I trust Kyle Shanahan, whomever he selects, because it's Kyle, and because I know what this system does for a quarterback, I trust him more than anybody, all the other. I don't know who the coordinator is at Jacksonville. I don't know who the quarterback is at the Jets.
It's Urban Meyer.
Okay.
It just is.
I trust Kyle Shanahan calling plays more than I trust Urban.
Okay, I got it. So I knew your emotions would be somewhat mixed here because you love Mike Shanahan because you played for him.
I did.
He helped make you what you were, and you believe in him,
I do.
and so you believe in turn in his son.
Yes.
And yet, you believe in Coach Belichick because you do not like Tom Brady, even though you're on a Facebook Live with him last night. Did you have interaction?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah?
I asked him, I said, well, let me ask you this, Tom. I said, would you be willing to give back 2 Super Bowls to win that perfect season Super Bowl? He's like, absolutely. I'd give it back in a heartbeat. So that's
to go, what was it, 19-0?
Yeah. I said, now you do realize now, instead of 7, that makes you have 5. He's like, I don't care.
Really?
He also told me, he said, man, I said, Tom, you could upstage Aaron Rodgers if you just say you're going to retire right here today. He said, if I retire, what would you guys have to talk about? He said, Skip always have my back. He said, I thought you was my boy.
Did he say that?
Yeah, what he said.
Yes, yes, yes.
He said, Skip.
That just made my year. Thank you. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Thank you.
He said, Skip always have my back. He said, I thought you were my boy, and you always picking against me. I said, well, I got to get my due back. I said, you cost me about 30 cases of due.
That is correct.
And I said, I'm gonna get it
Way
all
to go, Tom.
I said, but if you retire, I can get it back real quick.
Oh, Tom just won the equivalent of another Super Bowl last night against you.
He did.
Thank you, Tom. All right, back to the question at hand. I believe that Kyle Shanahan, just after they traded up, and I was shocked by the trade because I kept telling you, you went to 3, you didn't go to 2,
right.
So you're going to have to trust that the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson, and they trusted, and it happened. I don't know why. I kept telling you, but that's a whole other topic for another moment in this show.
Okay.
But I believe that it gave Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch more time to then dive into just how good is Mac Jones. And they both said last night, we loved both of them, and we thought, one's going to be there at 3.
And I told you, between those 2 guys, Skip, it wasn't Wilson, but they knew Wilson was going to the Jets. But it wasn't between Justin Fields. It was between those 2 guys. Okay. They felt very comfortable. One of those guys will be there at 3.
And then they were very honest last night, but Kyle said that a couple of reporters reported as soon as they made the trade that they were homing in on Mac Jones. And to quote Kyle, he said, well, once it got out there, a couple of people reported that, we weren't going to correct that because we thought that could be an advantage for us. Right. So they just let it sit out there that they were zeroed in on Mac Jones because it helped them to quietly go about their due diligence and their business on Trey Lance. So I believe that Kyle came to the same conclusion that I came to just watching all the YouTube highlights. Holy cow. If you watch, as Kyle said, and John Lynch said, I watched an interview on ESPN, John Lynch said that Kyle called him at 9 o'clock one night and said, dude, I am getting obsessed with this guy. That you've got to watch what I'm watching. And Kyle said that he had graded his whole 2019, and he gave him 160-plus plays, and he said he's a hard grader. And he said I just kept giving him plus on the outcomes of the plays until I finally sat back, and then he took, with all the digital age that we have now, and he made a new tape and sent it to John Lynch. And John Lynch said he stayed up until 2:30 in the morning just studying that tape and came in a little late the next day saying, my God, this is it. We got to go this direction. Okay, so what I see is that they took the future, and they have Jimmy Garoppolo, and obviously now it appears they're just going to hang on to him for 1 year because, look, Trey Lance is 20 years of age. He has thrown the fewest passes, 318 passes, of any quarterback taken in the first round in the last 40 years. The closest was our man Michael Vick.